Mr. Producer, I see me, which indicates the introduction was played, but I did not hear it. Are we on the air? Dom. Yeah, I can't hear you. So text me we're on the air, and I'll go ahead and start talking. Okay, you need to flip a switch or something because we're not. I'm not hearing the output from the station. All right, this is Jim Taunton. Sorry for the mix-up there. We haven't had a faux pas, technical faux pas, in a while, so guess it was about time. And I want you to indulge me for just a few minutes. You know, I pay for the half hour, so I can really say anything I want to say as long as it doesn't get Henry in trouble with the FCC, and this certainly will not. And this is probably more therapeutic for Jim than it is for you. But I've got some financial information to impart, but I wanted to share this with you, a little editorial. You know, we've witnessed some horrific events in the last 10 days. A school shooting, another one. A 23-year-old Ukrainian woman who fled her country for the safety of the United States of America and was stabbed on a subway. And that was disturbing enough, but really the most disturbing thing to me was to have three more human beings on that train watching this occur and doing nothing to intervene. Not even after the fact did they assist the young lady. I mean, it just blows my mind. And then, of course, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We've got a spiritual problem in this country and the world, for that matter. It's not a political problem; it's a spiritual problem. And Charlie Kirk knew that. And he was certainly more of a spiritual ambassador than he was a political ambassador. And I've never met Charlie Kirk. You know, let me be completely honest. Never met him. Never been to one of his talks. But I watched many hours of his videos, many hours, and was just so impressed with the young man. He was only 31. He was almost the same age, within months, of my youngest son, which kind of brought it home. Young man in the prime. And, I firmly believe that Charlie Kirk would have been president of the United States one day. That's how sharp he was. He was brilliant. He was absolutely a man of faith and did not mind telling you. He received Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and he had a conversion experience, was born again, and he was evangelizing everywhere he went. Wonderful young man. We'll miss certainly the possibility of him being president one day. I would love to have seen what he would have done. But it felt like I knew Charlie because of all the videos that I watched and the fact that he was a born again believer, and political paradigm was, of course, very similar to mine as well. But that wasn't the most important thing about Charlie. It felt personal. I've seen these events many times in the past. Horrific events, watershed events. This one just felt different, and it still feels different. It really does. It feels like it was a delineation in time for this country, and I don't even know what that means, but that's what it feels like to me. And I certainly couldn't tell you that it's discernment from above that is causing that feeling, but it feels like it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know that the assassination was the rock dropping in the lake, and the ripples from that rock dropping in the lake are spreading. And Jimmy Kimmel was taken off his show, and there'd been many others fired from jobs, and it's going and going and going, and the ripple would just keep spreading infinitely. And we'll see what happens ultimately with that, if it actually has an effect. First and foremost, we'd love to see a spiritual effect. We'd love to see a spiritual revival in young people. And it was actually happening because of his visits to campuses already. But we'll see if this assassination might speed up that process. That would be a wonderful thing. But you know what? It just bothers me when people mislead, use wrong terminology. I mean, the left side of the aisle is calls the right side fascist. Well, that word should be reserved for individuals who are absolutely maniacal, like Hitler, Mussolini. They were fascist. The definition of a fascist is a political figure that kills his opposition. Well, Charlie Kirk killed no one. He was never even combative. There's so much misleading garbage going around about him from the left, but he was the least combative conservative pundit in the media out there. He would, in my opinion, he would have been the least likely to have received an assassin's bullet among all the conservative media pundits out there. He was respectful. He gave an open mic. A fascist doesn't give an open mic to the opposition and allow them to express their disagreement. That's not a fascist, not in the least. He wanted to win people. He wanted to debate and discuss. He was not combative. He was provocative. He provoked debate. And that's what this country is built on, debate, privately and publicly. And that's what he did. And it's just a crying shame, literally crying shame, that some 22-year-old got it in his mind that he needed to take Charlie out. But we'll see. He may have done the world a favor. Certainly didn't do his family any good, and the world might ultimately receive something from his death that he couldn't provide while he was living. We'll see. I hope so. Hope Charlie's legacy will live on, and the ripples will continue to grow and even get bigger as we go down. We'll see. I just thought I'd share that, just coming from the heart and nothing to do with money at all. And again, that was just something I wanted to do, needed to do. And I pay for the half hour, so I have the right to do that. All right, we're going to go to a break. And if you will call with your financially related question during the break, we'll take your call and I'll take your question when we come back. The number here is 561-TALK, 561-8255, always area 252, 561-8255. Call now after this 2-minute break, give or take. We'll take your call. And if you call in with a question, your name goes into the drawing for the dinner for two in Ottawa. I'll even pay the tip. There you go. Great place to eat. Actually ate there yesterday. Ate there at least once a week, if not twice. It's a great place to eat. All right, let's go to a break, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here. And I know we're on air because I can see me on the screen again, but I don't have audio with the studio. But I'm told that we are getting out on radio, which also means we're doing a live YouTube broadcast. You can always listen live on 103.7 FM radio, or you can listen on the Financially Speaking NC YouTube channel. And if you miss it altogether, you can always go back on that channel, and those programs are archived, all of them, all the way back. So I don't know if we have a caller. I probably couldn't hear the caller anyway if we had one. So if we get a caller, Mr. Producer, if you can just write down the question and text it to me, I'll attempt to answer. All right. Well, the Fed reduced rates. Whoop-to-do. The Fed reduced rates 25 basis points, 0.25%. And it's not enough. We needed more than that. I was hoping they would do 50 basis points in the beginning and then 25 a few more times. But the guidance wasn't nearly as dovish as most people in my business would like, which means they didn't come out and say, oh, we're going to reduce it a total of 2% over the next 6 months. That would have been good. Yeah, the Fed really is behind the 8 ball right now. They've just waited entirely too long to start reducing rates, and it looks like they're not poised to reduce them as rapidly and as much as we need at this point. I mean, the housing market is suffering. We need mortgage rates. Now, keep in mind that the Fed reduces overnight lending rate. That's the only one that they really control. Now, usually that trickles on out, throughout all the different levels of interest rates and ultimately affects long-term rates. But it's certainly not immediate for long-term rates. It's just short-term rates that they're affecting. So we're going to have, at least a point reduction before long-term rates see a significant reduction. But we are at a low right now for 30-year mortgages, a 3-year low. So that's excellent. That's a good start. But we need mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage rates, to get down in the fives. 5.5, 5.25, something like that. Certainly not as low as they were back when the Fed had their rate at zero, virtually. But we need 30-year rates in the fives for the housing market to pick up, which will cause the construction market to pick up, and that just definitely trickles out throughout all the economy because there's so many areas that construction affects. So, got to have it. And essentially, if you look at the 10-year Treasury, that's the one that's usually a true indicator of what's going to happen with 30-year mortgages. So if it's going down, then 30-year mortgage rates will go down. But I have a client who's been waiting to start construction on a home because they were going to wait for the mortgage rates to go down. Well, the mortgage rates are down. They're not down as far as this client would like. So I suggested to the client, because we do believe mortgage rates are going to go down over the next 2 to 3 years, go with a 3-year adjustable rate mortgage. You lock in your rate for 3 years. An adjustable rate is about 1% less than the 30-year fixed. And sometime over the next 3 years, we believe that 30-year mortgage rates will come down to where this client would like to have them. They can then refinance, get into a 30-year fixed rate at the rate they would like to have. And they're in the house. So that's certainly an alternative to waiting until the fixed rates are at the point they want to finance. that's the kind of thing I do, in the planning arena, which is what gets my juices flowing. I love giving people ideas that will help their dreams come to fruition. I love doing that. Hundreds of times that's happened, in my career. And if you need someone to counsel with, even if I don't handle anything for you, I'll be glad to do that. And actually, my oldest son, Jameson, been in business with me in our firm for going on 15 years. He was in banking for years before that. He handles most of the grunt work, the leg work, the paperwork, and actually handles opening the account and all that now. So I just get to talk to people, and I enjoy that. So if you want to talk to someone, and I certainly won't bill you or charge, there's no obligation for a first meeting with me at all, give me a call. Let me give you my contact information. My number in the office is 252-756-4700, 756-4700. My email is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. That's one word, jtauntonfinancial, one word. That's the suffix. And you can see over my shoulder, if you get on the YouTube, how to spell my name. It's TAUNTON. So letter J, tauntonfinancial.com. My website is jtauntonfinancial.com. You can get on there and find out everything you need to know about Jim and more. And there's an inquiry page you can go to submit an inquiry. It'll come to me my email, and I'll reply. Almost the next time I get to the office and look at my inbox, which is all the time, I will reply. So email is a great way to communicate with me. So call or email. That'd be a good thing. Let's get together and talk. It doesn't cost you anything to talk, just cost you a few minutes maybe. And you never know, you may find out something that helps you for the remainder of your lifetime. It may speed up your retirement. I've done that many times. All right. The market was up today, very large. So that 25 basis point decline in rates by the Fed, some would think that was the impetus, but it wasn't. China actually banned NVIDIA chips. You'd have thought that would have been a negative, but NVIDIA was up 3.5% today. So what in the world's going on? The market's up. NVIDIA's up 3.5%, but China banned their chips. So how does that happen? Well, first of all, I think most people that are in the know, and I know people in the know. I may not be in the know, but I know people in the know. My people know people. That banning of chips is just posturing by China. That they're talking with Trump as we speak, and China's just trying to toot a horn. That's all they're doing. That will not stand. It'll change, but even if it did, what really moved NVIDIA today was the fact that NVIDIA invested $5 billion in Intel. Whoa, what? We thought NVIDIA and Intel were competitors. That would be like Ford investing $5 billion in General Motors. So they got something cooking. They're going to combine technologies, combine synergies wherever they can find them between the two companies, and that is going to be a behemoth. I'm wondering if DOJ might look at that as a monopoly. They might. I mean, NVIDIA really has a monopoly, but I think a combination of the two companies is something. Of course, they're not merging. NVIDIA's not buying NVIDIA. Wink, wink. They're investing $5 billion in Intel. But we don't know what the agreements are behind closed doors. And I'm sure there's some control of Intel that's going to take place by NVIDIA. I mean, they have maybe the finest CEO in the business, and he knows exactly what he's doing. All right, let's see. Where are we? Oops. Let's go to another quick break, 2 minutes, and I'll finish up when we come back. But call me during the break with a financially related question. And matter of fact, if you want to make a comment about what I talked about the first few minutes of the program, that's fine too. I'll make an exception this one time. But if you call in, I'm going to put you in the drawing for the dinner for two regardless. And I'll even pay the tip. Number is 252-561-TALK, 561-8255. Be back in 2 minutes. All right, Jim Taunton back with you on Financially Speaking. And my producer didn't say we have a caller, so I'm assuming that we do not, which is a sad state of affairs. All right, I had a client in the last week, and this individual was in their early 60s, and we did a financial plan for them, and they brought me some information to update the plan. We actually handled some money for them. This was several years ago, and we're going to update the plan. And they're getting really close to calling it quits. And they want to call it quits. They do. They don't get their fulfillment in life from their job. They want to retire. And they said, I guess I could retire at 65, but I'm gonna try to make it to 67 before I retire. And I asked a stupid question. I said, why? Why do you want to wait 67? Well, that's my full retirement age for Social Security, and I heard people say you need to wait till then, and I said, no. You look at the numbers. When you're able to retire financially, if you want to retire, that's the key. If emotionally you're ready for retirement, you retire as soon as you are financially able to do it. And that's what a financial plan determines. So when I plug these new numbers in, I will play with those numbers, run some reports, and we will meet again. And I hope that I'm going to give this individual some good news, and they will be clicking their heels when they leave. But the only way to find out is to do a plan. I mean, I have had so many individuals in my 45 years in financial services have some magical age in their mind for retirement for no good reason, really. And they're waiting for that. And then all of a sudden, they get the bad word from the doctor, and it just blows all of their retirement plans away. Can't enjoy retirement. So you're as healthy as you're going to be right now. I know that's as a profound statement, hard for you to grasp, but you're in as good a health as you're going to be right now. Obviously, there's maybe an exception or two if you're really overweight, you're going to lose some weight, or you're out of shape and you're going to start working out. You could improve some. But in general, it's only going to get worse with age. Everybody has something called AGE syndrome. That means their body gradually deteriorates over time. So you retire while you can enjoy it with good health, especially if you have a spouse and you and your spouse want to do some traveling or just be together and tool around and go to the beach and work in the yard together and things like that. For goodness sake, if you don't gain majority of fulfillment in your life from your occupation, you're tired of it, you're emotionally, you're ready to go. If you're financially able, let's do it. Let's look at it. Let's get together. Yeah. Number at the office, 756-4700. Email, jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. Jim, J-I-M, at letter J, TAUNTON, financial.com. Website, jtauntonfinancial.com. Yeah, I'd love to meet with you. And again, first meeting with me is absolutely no cost or obligation. The only cost is a few minutes of your time. Let's sit down and talk, see if we can communicate, see if I can be of service to you, see if I can shed some light on the darkness of your financial planning. All right, where are we? It's 6:30 already. I'm assuming final music is on. Good. As always, this is Jim Taunton helping you make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.